Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Huddle Time with Ronit. We're finally here. It's been a few days. How are you guys all doing? I hope you're doing really great. We're back here Wednesday, and we have great guests with us today. But before we go into our guest, as you coming in, I'd love to see what's going on. Give me hands. Let me know that you can hear us really good. We are streaming live, and as you know, everybody is online right now. And sometimes we get glitchy. Sometimes we get my lips are moving, but the sound is not coming. So if it's all good, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline, Italy. And if I don't pronounce your name right, just know nobody ever pronounced my name right. So it's okay. It's all good. My name is Ronit Enos, and I am the host of Huddle Time today. And the Huddle Time with Ronit has been born because we thought what will be a better place to connect and to get all of us together on the ABS Facebook page live with Cosmetology of Chicago, right? So why did we decide to do this? Is because we really wanted to connect and help you guys go through these weeks and until we get back. So what can we share with you? How can we support you? What are the things you want to learn? Everything that we can possibly do in these times to help you and support you in the beginning, the next, and then afterwards, the new norm. So we are coaching live, and with us, we have as many as guests as we can and teach you as much as tips as we can. So I'm learning, just as you, how to navigate in this new space. But before we even go there, I just want you to know who I am. For you who don't know me, my name is Ronit Enos, and I've been a salon owner for many, many years, couple of decades, a hairdresser, a hair colorist, many friends in the industry. So we're very lucky to bring a lot of good friends here. And I am now we teach and coach Salon Cadence Academy, and you can find us coaching and training on Instagram or on our website anytime. So I just wanted to get that out of the way and then talk about you. So how are you guys feeling today? How are you guys doing? Now we know that we have to start thinking about going back, and it's coming a little bit sooner than later. So from 1 till 10, hi Christy. From 1 to 10, how do you guys all feel? Give me your feeling. Are you 1 till 10? Are you a 1? Are you a 2? Are you a 5? Are you 8? Yesterday I hit number 5. Actually, through this time, I've worked really hard on being an 8, right? But yesterday I hit a 5, and it took me a while to work on myself and navigate myself to get back to 8. And if I get 8, I'm very happy. And sometimes I do hit my 9. So how are you guys doing? What are you guys feeling? What is your concern right now? What are your worries right now? What is your stress level telling you right now? And so I wanted to talk to you today about being profitable, being really profitable. And you think to yourself, okay, what does she mean about being profitable? Well, what I mean is about thinking and working by design. Thinking and working by design. So we got an opportunity here for the past few weeks. Hi, everybody. So I see 7 and 7. And you look at my face. I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to look at some comments, and I'm going to read some comments. And just so you know, if I don't answer as quickly back, I will go back and answer everybody's question later. And this show is going to be live on Wednesday and Friday for the next few weeks. And maybe we're going to come and do it every day. So if you want us to come every day to share with you more, to teach you more, please say something. Please comment. What are the things that you want to know? And we'll share, right? So the key thing is what we teach our clients on, we teach Salon Cadence at Salon Cadence Academy, is how to be really profitable. And when I say profitable, the first thing you probably think is money. And yes, that's what we do. But at the same time, how can we be emotionally profitable? And the reason why this show is so centered around that is because I want you to learn how to think by design. Because right now we've been given a great opportunity to reset the button and to plan that profitability so you can have the life that you want. And you have amounts of time right now to think about, how do I want to run my life? How do I want to reimagine my life? And this is what we're going to do for the next few weeks. So there's 3 tips I want to share with you, what you're going to do in order to redesign your life. And we're going to talk about it for the next hour. How do we intentionally think about redesigning our life? So number 1 is we want to have profitable services. We want to think about what is my most profitable service, okay? And if that provoke questions, what do you mean by that? We're going to be talking about that. The second thing is I want you to think about is how I can be very profitable at practicing safety first. Going back, how can we be really, really profitable at safety first? And what is safety first? The third thing I want you to think about is, can you reimagine your life? Can you reimagine your life? So important. If you could have 1 month, if you could have the life that you want, exactly the life that you want, can you reimagine what it will look like in 1 week? 1 week. So if you have 156 hours, and out of that, how many hours do you sleep? You sleep 8 hours, right? At least 8 hours if you want to be very healthy a day. What do you have left? If you think about it, what would you do with the rest of the time? Would you work 40 hours? Would you work 50 hours on your business? It doesn't matter whether you own a salon or you aspire to be an artist. Your career is what you choose it to be. Can you design it to work for you? Can you design it to work for yourself? So would you be able to work 40 hours on yourself, 50 hours on your business or on your career, and then the rest of it you sleep, right? Because all we have is 7 days and all we have is 156 hours to plan it. And can you really plan it to work for you? So what is the first thing I want you to do? Good morning, Andrea. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Teresa. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, Melissa. Hi, how are you? So good to see you here. Hi, Christy. So please comment in the comments, what are the things that you really want us to work with today? I want to give you a couple of tips how you can actually create the business and the life that you want. And you can do it. Yes, this is not a woo-woo. This is not a flop. This is not a talk about, oh my God, you know, like all the million things that this is real. You can do this, right? This is real. How many hours do you really need to be successful at what you want to be successful? So the first thing is I want you to imagine, take this exercise back at home, how to reimagine yourself. What would 1 week would look? How many hours do you want to sleep at night to be really good? People recommend anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. Then I want you to think, how many hours do you want to work? Yeah, how many hours do you want to work a week? Not just you tasted a little freedom. And then I want you to think about, what would I do with the other time off? And what would my whole year look like? Do I want to travel? Do I want to study more? Do I want to get educated more? Do I want to reinvest? Do I want to invest in myself, in my family, in my relationships? Right? And bring it all the way down to 1 week. Now, none of this will ever going to happen unless you put one thing in it, is identifying what is the cost of this. What will be the cost? So basically, if you have all your expenses, what they are, I want you to forget about them. And then I want you to think about doing all of that and creating that in 1 week, that perfect week, what will be that number? What will be that number? How much do you need to earn? 2,000 a week, 2,000 a month, 5,000 a week, 5,000 a month, right? And then I want you to take all of that number that you need to be happy, to have that perfect week, and divide it by the amount of hours that you can work, or by the amount of hours that you want to work. What will that be your cost? What is your financial cost for that? And then we're going to work from that. So that exercise takes about, I would say, 4 good hours, maybe 5. I don't know. What do you think? How many hours do you think? Hi, Christy. Good morning. Hi, Brent. So good to see you. So again, we're chiming in right now into Huddle Time with Ronit. This show is on Wednesday and Friday at 11 a.m. in the morning. And the goal is to create the life that you really want. Profits, happiness, all together. So today, with all of us right here, please let me know how you guys are doing. Yeah? Good? Can you hear me well? Great. Well, you know how it is. With Facebook Live or Instagram, you can be great sound or not such a great sound. I'm learning as I go. So if we're here to get clarity, the first thing we need to get is, what do we want? What do we really want? And how can we make it work for us, right? So the number one thing to do is really kind of imagine it. And then I want to talk about more of that. So I'm going to bring right now my really special guest, who is, I would say, I've known Candy since I was a salon owner. It's been a long time. I think when she came up with her educational platform and teaching all of us to become the best hairdresser we can, the best colorist that we can, the most efficient, I bought into all of that, and I created pretty much the same type of education system in my company, because to me, it was working by design. So I'm so excited to have her on the show here today and have her share everything that she knows, or something that she knows that can help us navigate it through the going back. So without further ado, I do want to welcome celebrity hairstylist Candy Shah, the founder of Sunlight Balayage, and she is the Educator of the Year that was awarded by Into Coiffure American Canada and by Leo Passage. Did I pronounce it right, Candy?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're here to share with all of you what can we learn, what are her thoughts about going back successfully, going back profitably, and more than anything, going back safely. Hi, Candy. So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Ronit. I am so excited to be here. I was saying to you this morning that, business as usual has been kind of what I've been doing every morning, getting up, getting showered, getting dressed, putting a face of makeup on, just because I've just really seen a need to get out there digitally and help people. And so this is a wonderful platform that you're providing to assist people in this process. And I think many of you might know already that Georgia has been the first state to get the go-ahead to open up our salons. And I would be really not telling the truth if I said that I was excited about that decision. And it's a very hard decision to think about what we're going through right now, because there's no playbook on how to change and thrive. I know how to do it when in a normal business day, but in a situation like this, we're going to have to make a lot of changes, and our best business practices are really going to come into play.
Totally. And thinking about that, we were talking, I think it was a week into us shutting our doors and into that whole panic mode, but also we were talking about the 5 stages of grief. How it is so alike to go through the loss, the grief, and what is the stages. And I feel like when we were talking about what should we do now to not go down the path of the could be stage 3 and keep going down, but how can we start spiking up? But now the conversation has shifted a bit, right? Now the conversation is more about almost like the 5 stages of new grief, of the loss of what we didn't do, what we have not yet to do, what we wanted to do, and now we have to go back. I mean,
well, and it is. It's like recovery. I mean, it's like we've had to take on such a different approach in our businesses, and now we need to know how to recover and get back in them safely, as you mentioned. Because really, at the end of the day, this is not just about hurrying back to make a dollar. This is about something that we need to do correctly to be safe with our staff members. I mean, getting your hair done is definitely a luxury. We know that. I mean, as much as we might want to call us essential, yeah, I feel essential in a lot of ways. I do. But really, the reality is, I know that safety has to come first, and people's lives have to be first. And, as a business owner, you are faced with the moral issue of how you're going to lead your companies to get out there and do the right thing. Someone asked me, how do you feel right now, Candy? What is your emotion with this new news? And I said, and there's one part of me that feels like a kid at Christmas because I finally have an answer, right? And I finally know that something's going to happen. But then there's that other part of me that feels like a parent whose child just brought home someone they're going to marry that they've never met.
Yes.
Absolutely. I feel very confused in this process.
Yeah.
But we are putting together, obviously for the protocol that we need to, what our salon needs to do. But I think the emotional piece is really huge. And
so
we
what do you
can't
feel?
spread it. Yeah.
Now,
How do you feel through this process?
Now, the feeling that you're going through, if you could call it a name, you said confused.
Mm-hmm.
And confused sounds to me like, again, not knowing exactly how to take the next phase. And that in some way it could be so stressful. When I asked many of our salon owners, I asked them, how do you feel right now? 1 till 10, because we do this exercise every day, 1 till 10. We got a lot of 5s because an anxiousness and almost anger of, what am I doing now? Because of Atlanta, because of the fact that we have to go back and you're the first state, it's almost like if you think about Noah and the ark. He had to send the dove first to test the waters. It's almost like you guys are the first one to test the waters. And it's so scary because you want to keep the people, your family safe.
Correct. I think I loved what you said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about how, you can flee or you can fight. And I have just made my decisions, and thank you to my husband and to my son who have helped me in this process because we all work together every single day, one day at a time, with the information that I have with that day. And I had to make a conscious effort and decision way back a few weeks ago. I don't even know what day it is right now, but a few weeks ago that I was not going to base decisions off of anything another state was doing. I was going to base decisions off what was right for me internally and for my company and the things that would work for us. And that's kind of what we've done all along. We've just been very strategic in making sure that we're just making decisions day by day based on the information we have because like anything, if you're running a good business, you're forecasting, right?
Yeah.
You're forecasting what's new, what the profit's going to be, what your P&L is. You're going to be forecasting going forward. And I laugh because I'm dyslexic. So part of everything I've ever done in my life, I start from the back and I go forward. I find the problem and I work towards the solution.
Yes.
The first time in my 40-year career of being a hairdresser, I didn't have the back end date to work to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have
The
clear
vision,
cut.
the end vision. Yeah.
Exactly. And so for me now, having that, it's still very difficult to come back and find that solution and make those right decisions.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of hatefulness going on about Georgia right now. It's really overwhelming me, to be honest, because a lot of people are angered and a lot of people are turning on people. And I keep trying to, and my phone is blowing up constantly. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. It's a responsibility.
You got to do what's right for you.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You got to get your 5 and 9. And when your 5 is a 9, then you can open your doors safely,
Yes.
profitably, and thrive.
Oh, I love that. And we discussed this yesterday, discussed this last week, a couple of weeks ago. What would be something that we can really give value today in order to do that? So listen, all of you guys. What I've learned about Candy, and I would be quite honest, I've known Candy from conferences, the hair business, kind of like on the distance, but I've learned through this, which I'm so grateful to have this show, because I get to know people like you deeper. And what I love about Candy is the fact that she exposed and the tasting of what her life is, and the real Candy. And what I love about Candy that she was thinking, and she tells me, Ronit, I'm a 5'2". I'm a 5'2", and what do I need to do in order to get 9? Is I need to plan it. And so, what would you do? What would you do to get you to the 9 in your world? And guys, you can learn from this, and this is something that you also have to ask yourself, because maybe what Candy and I would recommend is not 100% what you would do, but as long as you get to your 9, as long as you feel confidence, you're going to be okay, because we're going to pre-plan it right now.
Right. Well, I'm going to give you a perfect for instance, because I love the fact that you're mentoring and coaching people, and that you're out there just being really authentic and genuine. And I know that people use that word authentic a lot, but it means more now than ever before. My biggest thing was I knew immediately I had to get to my happy place, and my happy place was education. So I had to get out there to my student in the classroom, because I know that touch feel point was gone. And I knew that creative people were not going to have a vehicle or an outlet to be mentally stable. And so I knew that bringing education to their living rooms was my first number one priority. Obviously my business, making sure that everything was closed down, and we were making all the proper moves to save our company. But I knew that that was what would make me happy. That would take my 5 to a 9.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you what that's done for me, because the reality is I feel like I have a purpose.
Yes.
And my purpose is my voice right now. I don't think hairdressers go into this industry as always being great business people. I got to be honest. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
please. We're talking about being honest. We love honesty, right?
I think anybody just signed up and said, I'm a great hairdresser, so I'm going to open a salon, because not only am I a left brain, I'm a right brain too. It's very difficult to run a business. And when you get that compounded with a pandemic, people have scrambled in ways I've never seen them scramble before. And I just knew that it was my gift to give back and to help the bottom. And that's what I went for first. I really did, because I knew that I'm really lucky in Atlanta. I have great relationships with every single one of my competing salons here. We've been talking daily.
Yes.
So I already knew that I had a well to dip into, and I had a place to go back to help my 5 get 8s and 9s some days. But I knew that the bottom of our industry was going to hurt the worst. And that's what I went for first.
Yes.
I really literally tried to scoop the bottom up and try as I might.
Right. So by doing that, and I followed each session that you released, and it was almost like a thought behind it. It was a pattern behind it. There was a mini series. There was a beginning and an end. and telling me about how your brain thinking, that you think actually from the end and you reverse engineer it to the beginning, because you're looking at the outcome. You're looking at the outcome, and generals and thought leaders and leaders usually think about, what do I want at the end to be, and how can I simplify it? And we talk about being simple. How can I simplify it to the beginning so we can have nice milestone roadmap?
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you shared with the world of how can you simplify your learning, and let's do this together.
And be faster and more efficient when we do ramp back up. And that was kind of something that, time efficiency is something that I feel like has been my strength in my career, is being able to do more guests in a day. Now, granted, I won't be doing that right this second, but really identifying where the profitability lies in my business and how I'm going to ramp back up. Opening my doors to getting the high-end tickets first, and then going backwards from there to the men and children. My husband said a great quote yesterday. He said, you know what? We ought to market ladies first. Guys are blowing up our phones wanting haircuts, but the reality is you can live with another couple of weeks, but ladies can't as much. Right. And so I really love that. But I do want to be honest, I've had my tears too. I've had my moments of just insecurity and my moments of just, what's next. But what always brings me back is just knowing that I'm taking things one day at a time, and I'm not trying to make knee-jerk reactions. I've said all along that I would be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's something that is so important, is to think, to not react, to think, okay, what can I do? Like you said, the first day, work with every day with the information that we get. So in order not to have stress in your life, you cannot just be a black and white person. Mm-hmm. You can't just operate on black and white. You have to make decision on your own, and you have to trust your feeling. And I love it when you say, you get to the 9, go for it. And don't worry about it. Because if you're going to get a new information that says, hey guys, we have to close again because the surge is going up again, we got to go back and stay at home for another 4 weeks. It's okay, because we've been here before. We know what's going to happen. And now we can embrace it easier because it's a practice, practice to become better. So my question to you, Candy, is, we talked about profits yesterday, and I want to give something specific to our audience. And I love love.com, the fact that you design a system to teach us hairstylists, hair designers, salon owners, how to be efficient for a time we're applying color or doing a haircut. And I think more than any time, this is the time to talk about time standards. And wait. This.
Yeah.
Oh, and can I just say before you even go there, where are my notes? Where is my profitability notes? They're gone. But go for it. Profitability.
Well, I've been a teacher of French haircutting for a long time, and it's very fast and efficient. I do haircuts in less than 10 minutes, which have been, our lifeline at Jamison Shaw Hairdressers here in Atlanta for so long. And that's really been something that's kept us in a level that I can't even explain to people. I think that I said to you yesterday, and I apologize if I'm going to offend anyone, but this is, again, like you said, my honest self. Someone that spends 45 minutes on a haircut, it just blows my mind. It's like my daddy used to always say, you're not building a monument. What is going on? A woman is not going to, it's not that you're trying to discount quality. No, not at all. It's just that you're trying to have an effectiveness that, has a system, A plus B equals C. And this system has helped me, and I've been teaching it for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Balayage, of course, something I'm very known for as at the Ballet Lama, is very fast and very efficient, takes half the time, if not in some cases even less than that, to paint a head of hair. And I think that you have to look at the value of your time, what you're making an hour, what you're making a minute, really. And I break that down into the frequency of visits of people, you know, how many visits they can have, all the way down into, you know, what my staff makes every single hour and what their capabilities are. And that's just that supply and demand. I mean, I really feel like we all have to ride the tipping point of that.
Yes.
So when we get back and get more ramped up, we've got to change some of the ways that we do business and how we book.
Absolutely. If we want to keep people safe, we cannot just go and do in the services of an hour and a half to apply color. And talking about balayage, it's a fantastic way to do it and to learn. But even for the people out there who feel more comfortable with foils, it's okay. Learn how to be more efficient for the time that you have, because it's a minute by minute is a dollar by dollar. And I get it. We all are artists. We all came into this world of hair because we love what we do. But remember, what's the outcome? If we don't have efficiency and time on the profit side, we're not going to be able to enjoy the life that we actually want, because maybe money is not everything, but it does touches everything. Right, Candy? And I think it's just something that we can take advantage of it right now, going back.
Yeah, I remember this just came to me. My dad is watching, by the way. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
I remember when my dad was pulling hair through a cap, right? And that we got so fast at pulling hair through a cap, right? And then when we went to foiling, there was this huge discussion as to whether or not we were going to charge by the foil. I mean, that was how people thought about it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking the first time I ever heard somebody charging by the hour, you know, that sort of lit me up a little. And I thought, wow, you know, that's really thinking about, you know, time value of your time and what you're doing. And I can remember foiling being like that, where we're going to charge by the foil or what have you. But nothing against foil highlighting at all. Yes. 100% there is the need for it in a salon. But how can you be more efficient to get more with less, to work smarter, not harder? I mean, that is something that we all have to recognize in this time. If we're going to have to put safety measures into place, as well as be profitable and keep our businesses from dying, we really got to think about how we're going to manage that.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that, because I really want the world to know. And please give me a thumbs up if you think this is good, valuable information. If not, tell me what would be a good, valuable information. And hi, Brent, you've been such a great commenter over there. Brent is on, Shelly, and he's Candy, and he's watching us. But what I want to ask or to just even mention is that Candy said minute by minute. Do you guys out there, do you know what does it cost you to be in business minute by minute? What does it cost you to be in business in 1 hour? And if you don't, the number one tip that we want to share with you is find out what does it cost you to be in business in 1 hour, so you can know exactly if you're profitable or not, right? And then we'll work backwards from that. So that's great. What are the things that you're going to do, Candy, in your business right now, going back, to make sure that your team, your lovely family, is going to feel that they are secure going back?
Well, you know, look, this could be a 2-hour conversation, but I'm going to break it down very easy and very clear. I'm going to take things a day at a time with the information that I have. But I have a 50-chair salon. So I went there yesterday to look at everything about how I'm going to follow the CDC guidelines, how I'm going to do the 6-foot distancing, all of that. Everything from, you know, masks to gloves to all the sanitation in between. Of course, we're going to follow that protocol. We are looking at all the signage that we're going to be putting in our salon to let our guests know. We're removing magazines. We're, putting up rope and stanchions. We're retraining the traffic in our salon. We're ordering stickers to put on the ground so people say, stand here, don't move here, stand here, all those things. But, sneeze shields, you name it, I got it, right?
Yes.
Banners in between stations, trying to create safe spaces. Obviously I'm in the product company, so I've got a scissor company. I have, plenty of brushes and scissors and all those types of things. One thing we're going to probably not do right away is for at least the first week, we're not going to blow dry hair, because that is time efficiency, right? I mean, to work on blow drying is not the importance now. What's important is going to be getting that haircut out, getting that color applied, getting that lady back in the cycle again, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
then once we catch up from the tsunami that we've had of backlog, then we'll come back up for air. And if your guest says, well, my haircut is, maybe a little less this or a little less that, so be it. She'll tolerate it for one visit for us to be more time efficient.
She will respect it. It's such a good point. I wasn't even thinking about it. Now that you brought it up, I'm thinking blow drying will spread the germs even more if they are there.
Right.
So maybe it is efficient to not use a blow dries for a week or 2 weeks. And the question probably will come, and I think, let's see, Deborah says, I would love to know, what would you do? How would you go about reopening? I mean, it's a common sense, right? What can you do to keep your family safe? Do the same thing in your salon. Some people will have clients staying in the car until you're ready to bring some more. Kind of like what Trader Joe's were doing. They had a line to go inside the store, and they only allowed a certain time. Now, Candy, you have 50 chairs. 50 chairs.
Yeah.
Some salons have 50 chairs. Some salons have only 4 or 3, but it's so small. So it's kind of the same, you guys.
Everybody has the same problem. It's called social distancing. It's called touching people.
Yeah.
This is not them against us. This is not the independent out there saying, well, I only have one, so I don't have that problem. No, you have the same problem as I have, right?
Yeah.
We all have the same issue. And that issue is, how can we go back to work safely, morally, and responsibly? And, money cannot drive this train. And what just keeps me up at night is these folks that are out there that haven't gotten unemployment, that haven't gotten any kind of support, whose loans have not gone through, who've just struggled. And it breaks my heart, because they're sort of forced in, they're just sort of backed in. Like even in Georgia, so many people that I see that are already, ready to just ramp back up on Friday and get that 9 a.m. on the book. I understand their position. I understand that they didn't get some of the things that they needed to support them. Right. But that's not my position. My position is different. And, I have to just continue with what my position is offering me. Of course, following all the necessary guidelines. I mean, we can read them till our eyes fall out. Right. But I think for me personally, I just can't let it be about somebody's roots. I have to be about my family, my employees, the people that are going to be there in the end. That's what's matter.
Absolutely. Now. But Candy, by just being here on this show, now you're spreading your love even broader. You're spending your love every day on your page. You're teaching everybody what you do. We all follow Candy. We all follow, anything that we can follow. There's so much information on Candy's pages. Please go visit her, because she's such a thought leader. There's great information at Salon Today, which gives you everything you need to know. Here's the thing. Somebody asked here, somebody said, Yvette, she said all funds are gone. They're not gone. they may be gone right now, but our world, and we have such great support, you guys, that they are going to provide with more. So the number one thing that we've learned going through this, and Candy and I are not 25 years old, we're just a few years above it. So we do, yeah. Well, can't you see? But we do, we did go through many crises, many wars, many problems, and we learned from our family that went through other wars. This is another one. And so the thing is, in this war, we have reset buttons. We have opportunities. The only way not to be stressed about it is to learn about them and to act fast. So in next time, if you didn't act fast on should I file for triple P or should I file for this, come and learn and just be aware of what you need to do and be in the action zone. Just go in it and file. And if you're not so sure, in order to get to your 9, which is competence, and competence brings confidence, is learn, reach out to us, send us messages, or we will have every information we can there for you. Right, Candy? Is that you feel the same way?
I gotta say, I'm so proud of our industry. I can't even begin to tell you the kind of folks that have stepped up, the type of way and grace that people have had in this process. I know there's a lot of, there's always going to be the 80-20, right? The 80-20 rule of there's going to be 20% that are out there and always complaining about it. And, my dad used to say, if I was giving out free money and I handed you a $20 bill, there'd be somebody out there that would complain that it wasn't 2 10s, 4 5s, or 21s.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Still, right? And so I am trying very hard to just focus on the positives right now. I know that it's hard on many folks, and I am not discrediting or discounting that anyone has struggled in this process, but I too have struggled in this process. So we've got to learn from that.
Yeah.
We got to put our thinking caps on. We got to reinvent ourselves. We got to look at things in ways we've never looked at them before. And we have to stand in the mirror and just have a good hard look at ourselves and ask, are we part of the problem or part of the solution? And I'm just not, it's just not in my fabric. It's not in my DNA to be part of a problem. Yeah. I'm going to be part of a solution. That's how I'm built.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because that is helpful. It's helpful for everybody there to know that that we're a human, and we all are the same, and we're all sharing this pain. But we can make the choice. We can make the choice, like you said, be part of a problem or part of a solution. And right now, all we got to do is just be in the game and trust that this is going to work out for us and not against us. Mm-hmm. So as long as you have that optimism, I think that we can move to the 9 or maybe move to the 8, which is better than the 5. And every day is another day. So what's the next thing that we want to share with that audience that will help them? So we talked about really designing your efficiency time. Choose the services that are really great, that will bring you the most return on your time and money. Keep everybody safe. You know what to do. If you don't know what to do, reverse engineer. Go see what the grocery stores are doing. Ask questions. We have all this information for you. But we talked about putting the shields and the dryers. The dryers was a great tip. Nobody needs to use the dryers right now. So the question comes in profitability. Do we discount our services? I say no. No. If anything, you might have to elevate the prices by $15 because it's going to cost you disposable caps, disposable mask, disposable coffee, dispose everything. So you gotta know the cost of what is it going to cost you to provide excellent safety and security for everybody and elevate that, right?
Absolutely. I get that question all the time, Ronit. Everybody's asking me, well, are you going to discount because you're not going to blow dry hair? Look, I may change that on a dime. I may start out that way on Monday. I'm not saying Monday, but just for hypothetical, I might start that way, and by Friday we may change our mind. And that's okay. It's okay to, I always say, even though my business is in some cases, to many of you viewers out there, a big business, I still can make decisions like a cigarette boat. I can make a decision very quickly. I can change the course of the plan very quickly. And that's exactly how I plan to proceed. If something's not working, we're going to stop. If something we feel like we need to ramp up more, we will do. But absolutely not. I will not discount. I will not be backed in a corner. Listen, if you're listening, hear this from your Bali mama right now.
Okay.
So many of you do not charge what you're worth already. Many of you out there have let your clients feel like you are not worth what you charge. But right now, more than ever before, we've also got to be worth what we charge.
Yeah.
So we've got to ramp up.
Yeah.
We got to pay attention. We got to get up and get dressed up for work, and we've got to really take this serious.
Yeah.
We cannot, I always say in my classroom, we can't go to work in bedazzled sweatpants and flip-flops with our hair on top of our head, not caring about our business.
Yeah.
We've got to arrive early, stay late, do what we got to do to stay successful right now.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks out there have been dialing it in for a long time.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of getting caught in the midst of the storm.
Yeah.
So what I would say to you out there is we've got to protect the beauty industry with beauty, with how our staff is coming to work and the attitudes of our staff. I'm going to have a no Rona zone, which means don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about coronavirus. I want to talk about how we are moving forward. No one ever had a future living in the past, and we've got to move forward at some point. So we've got to make some tough decisions. There will be people who won't come along for the ride. That's okay too.
Absolutely.
I'm hearing a lot of employers out there that there are people who are frightened to do that. That's okay. Whatever works in your environment is what's going to work for you, and you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to go through the process to learn that. And this is what we've learned on this one. So it's time to create exactly what you want, that perfect week. Learn from your what you have not done yet that you always want to do, and just apply it right now. So if any one of you is interested of learning exactly how to get the numbers for that 1 hour so you can determine what you need to charge, this Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be speaking about that 1 hour and how to get that numbers and how to elevate those prices. Two questions. It's 8:48 here in the West Coast, 11:48, and I can talk to you forever. But this has been so emotionally amazing. I'm sure by now everybody has gone to their 9. I hope so. So if you want to give me the numbers right here, where are you right now? Are you feeling inspired? Are you feeling great? Are you at your 9? Is there somebody there who's in the 5? Just put it out there, because we're going to give you some more energy. Candy, you own 3 companies. You are a beautiful, beautiful grandmother. You're a mommy. You got a big family at the salon. You got a big family, which is your industry. You got so much going on, right? And you always give, always. How do you manage all of that day without burning out? What do you do? And don't tell me everything, because we don't have the time, but give me 3 things that we can learn, okay, that you do that helps you reduce the stress, the overwhelmed, and get you focused so you can do the things that you love.
Well, giving back is one. I think that when I give out my emotion, I get the 9 back. I get the emotional bank account refilled. Exercise is a big part of what helps me from a mental standpoint. And I would say my third thing is, just really prayer, just really being okay with feeling defeated sometimes and giving myself permission to feel down at times, but also saying to myself, you know, how long you're going to be down, because you got to get back up. And so I think that we're all in a very hard place right now. And if it wasn't for my family, listen, I left my house yesterday to go to my salon for the first time in a month. I have taken this as serious as anyone has ever taken it, this shelter in place. I've been trying very hard to just stay in my capacity at home and work from home. So everyone's treating it differently, but that's the way that I have treated it to try to stay positive.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm going to take one comment here, and then I'm going to ask you our final question. But Candy, we can do this again. You mentioned something about cocktails at night. I'd like to do that too.
Yes. I was going to add the third was wine, but I thought that might not be good at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it's going to be 8 o'clock someplace. You know the old cliche. Sherry Petterbink just shared something with us, and she is a phenomenal colorist, as we all know, and a human being that I love so much. She says each individual stylist and salon owner has to make a decision that works best for them individually. Amen to that. And then she says, returning to a salon will look so different for each state, each owner, each stylist. Lots of decision to make, positive vibes and energy to us all. So that's all we got to do is make a decision, right? But what leads to a decision, and Sherry, thank you for this. I love you. What leads for the decision is the thought. It all starts with the thought. And the thought based on the question, what if? What if I could have this life for me? That's exciting. Because if you're going to choose what if not so exciting, it's not going to get you the result that you want. So imagine, what if you can have what you want? What would it be? And we talked about love. We talked about kindness. We talked about that's where we all need to operate from. And I ask you, what is your favorite book that you would gift your best friend? And you said to me, my favorite book is Love What You Do by Dennis Spinoza. And that Spinola. Yeah. And that is because why?
Well, she created Fabric, the clothing store, just out of an entrepreneurial way of finding a niche and a need. But I just think we just have to love what we do and love our craft. I say all the time in my classroom something my father always taught me, and that is life is short and soon to pass, and only the things done with love will last. And one thing that my husband said to me day one in quarantine, how we deal with this crisis is how we're going to be remembered. And so all that ends well is well. And that's how I continue to deal with this crisis, is knowing that my grace in this moment is the most important thing that I can give to anyone, because I don't want to be remembered for the panic Candy. I want to be remembered as the loving, giving, kind, caring Candy. And I hope that the folks out there have felt like I've been able to provide that.
Oh, and that's beautiful. I'd love to finish on these notes and say to everybody, we're here for you. We're here to support you. Is there any time you feel 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, with it, no judgment, whoever you are, whatever you do, we're here to support you. If there's something you want specifically us to do, please put it in the comment. You know where you can find Candy. Who doesn't know Candy? Candy, you have been such an inspiration in this process.
Thank you.
You're going to be remembered for your beauty from the inside. And of course, the yellow, always the yellow. And
always got
yeah. And thank God for that, because you can bring a lot of yellow into your life, as Brent will say, and yellow is good. So,
well, yellow, color of joy, right?
Yeah.
And I like to try to spread some light into these dark hours. So hopefully I'm doing that.
Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for everybody for coming. We'll be here back on Friday, this Friday, 11 a.m. And we're going to be doing, talking about money and how you can increase your profits and keep things safe as you go back. And if you are feeling 4 or 5 or 6, join us. If you're feeling 9, join us. Thank you. Thank you so much, Candy.
You're
The
welcome.
Dalai Lama.
Thanks, everyone.
Mwah.
Stay well. Stay safe.
Stay in the chat room. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to come run to you with a glass of water.
Okay.